All right, questions for the presenters? Anyone? John?
Thank you. To everybody from DeKalb County, thank you. Thank you for the service. Thank you for the dedication. Your jobs are not easy. You are working for the good of everybody in the county, and we appreciate it. So thank you. Let me start there. The service that we had 13 years ago when we started this great city of Dunwoody was DeKalb County, and you were the gold standard. Nobody would allow us to even think of touching sanitation or fire. You were the gold standard. And that's the standard that we're trying to maintain, is looking to you to provide that service. That being said, there's been some ebbs and flows, and we're trying to work through the issues. For the sanitation, the staffing issues, you knew of problems. You got lots of emails because we were getting those calls, and we're trying to serve our constituents, and you're trying to do your job. And thankfully, the county commissioners and the CEO and COO were able to find a contractor to supplement your services in order to provide back that gold level service that you provided. So thank you for everybody involved to doing that. I'm not sure that's happening when it comes to the EMS aspect. I don't see the services that I'm hearing from AMR as being adequate. So therefore, I then ask, what is the county commission doing to supplement those services? I believe that you have raised the tax rate for fire. And I don't know if you have the ability to then, it sounds like we need more ambulances in our communities closer to home. So I'm looking for you to take a look at how to supplement what we have, because you're lacking. And there've been lots of discussions and, you know, how to do it right. But there's two issues. There's the emergency aspect where I need you to save my life. And then there's the transportation that my leg is broken. I'm not going to die, but I'm in a hell of a lot of pain. And I need you to get me to the hospital immediately. Please. I'm crying. My leg is broken, but there's no ambulance to get me there. We need solutions, and I don't have all the answers. The rapid response sounds like a good plan. Can we get more of those? Can they take people to the ambulance and drop off and have AMR do more staffing at the hospital so that they can, you know, rapid drop as well as a rapid response? I don't have answers, but I'm looking to the county to provide the services. A couple minor questions on some of the things that I heard. Sanitation, we are paying a certain amount of money, but that money is also for long-term projection. What is the lifespan of our landfill system right now, if I could?
Seminole landfill is the largest, as far as like bank cubic yards. We're the largest landfill in the state of Georgia. So you have life greater than 50 years left at that landfill.
Okay, but that's also the reason that we are doing so well in our recycling, is to make sure that that landfill lasts for 55 years, 60 years. So you know, please keep doing the great job that you do. So thank you on that. We're talking about the recycling. We get regular complaints regarding recycling bins here in the city of Dunwoody, namely the one over on Barclay, right near Station 18. Is that a known problem? Is that something that you handle, or is that an outside contractor? That type of collection bin, there only seems to be one main one within the city of Dunwoody. And how does DeKalb County handle that issue?
Is that at you said at a what location? Is it a residential or commercial?
No, it's Brook Run Park. It's right at the back of Brook Run. It's about a half block, or it's a couple doors down from Station 18.
Recycling. It's a glass recycling.
Oh, glass
recycling. There you go. Oh, it makes it different. All right.
Okay, yeah, the glass recycling, we do have a contractor. You are on a schedule. I don't know what the schedule is. I will need to go back and review that schedule, but normally what happens is we pick up the full and we leave it empty.
Right.
So, but we have found that some of the glass recycling have, they've created more trash than they have glass. And so we've had to pull some of them. We've had to actually pull some of the locations.
Yeah, you pulled the fire station one, I think, up.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Station
because
12.
it was turning into basically a unmanned illegal dump area.
I apologize for that on behalf of the citizens that are leaving that trash, but I would love to have that service maybe a little quicker if there was a way to look at it.
I'll definitely go back and look at it, and I will have Pauline respond back, because we do have a driver that is dedicated to servicing those glass recycling containers. And like I said, when we pull the full one, we should leave an empty one.
We
So
enjoy
sh-
the service, so thank you.
Yes.
It's something
And-
that comes up from time to
And
time.
we use it a lot. We seem to, like you said, we're the highest per capita recycling or whatever in the county.
Mhm.
And it's reflected in the use of our glass recycling as well.
You showed us a form where if we need special service, we can pay the fee and get our service within 12 days, whatever it was.
Yes.
How does that work when I'm being evicted out of my house and my entire house is now on the front lawn or in the front driveway? What happens next, and I don't have the ability to fix that. How do you have the ability? Who pays, who fills out that form, and how is my street cleaned of the trash that is on the curb?
Okay, it's a great question. We have two type of evictions. You have the martial, which goes to the courts. Those are the martial evictions, which is the legal evictions that basically the marshal office send us addresses. Throughout the week, we get addresses that basically need to be, these piles need to be picked up. You're right, it could be a 3-4 bedroom whole house sitting to the curb. By the time we get there, usually it's scattered back to the front door. And so the marshal evictions, or what we call priority, those are the grappler trucks as they go out there and pick up these piles. Sanitation currently does not get a fee for picking that up, but we're working on that. We're working on that with one of our commissioners, Commissioner Marita Davis Johnson. We're working on that because when they go fill out the eviction form, there's a fee you should pay for the court. But we're working on definitely trying to get sanitation slid in there so we could get that fee recouped back for some of the services that we actually provide. And you have I'm the homeowner, you're my tenant, you're not paying, you leave in the middle of the night, I got to get the house cleaned out. Same thing, you leave everything that you could take in your car. So those evictions are renter evictions, which is called the PayPals. Those are the special collection PayPals. Someone's got to pay sanitation for that large eyesore pile of junk at the curb. And that's where we'll get with code and we'll cite it. Or sometimes a homeowner will actually come and say, look, I need this pile picked up. So it could go two ways. Usually the complaint comes from the resident that's looking at it.
Yeah, the next door neighbors.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what a resident usually, so usually all the complaints come from those folks and then we'll dispatch it to code. Sanitation don't have enforcement. We don't enforce anybody to pay.
And as far as the city of Dunwoody, is there any way we could assist in any of that? I mean, I'm not sure we have the ability to levy the fine back or the fee back to anybody, but is there anything that the city of Dunwoody could do to assist in that process?
I mean, we could look at that, but right now the code enforcement is who
Okay.
we actually align with. We go directly with code enforcement.
We do.
Yes.
All right, next minor thing, talked about the commercial bins. We have small swim tennis associations really in the heart of the neighborhoods. And I'm guessing we've had some problems with those being picked up in a timely fashion. And I have had complaints. I think you said they start at 5:30 in the morning for those commercial bins to be picked up. Is the scheduling of those neighborhood, like picking up at 5:30 over on Ashford Dunwoody might be a little bit more friendly to that, the mall versus the single family neighborhoods. I've had some complaints. It's been a while. Maybe it's been addressed. I just wanted to make sure if there was any scheduling aspect on how the pickup of the noise of those bins, if it made any sense.
Well, we have two commercial services. We have the commercial hand pickup, which could be like a roll cart that you have at your house, which is our rear loader that picks it
Yeah,
up.
this is a
But then
bin.
you got the big one. All those complaints that we get in, we address those immediately.
Well, thank you.
So we try to address, because we understand that people are trying to rest, so we address those immediately.
All right.
If you have any current ones, please contact my office.
Yeah, I will. That's pretty much it for garbage. Thank you for the service. Again,
Absolutely.
I go back to the beginning of time for the city of Dunwoody, and it's the gold level service is really what we were not going to move away from fire or sanitation. we expect to look at those. We have the ability, if we ever wanted to change our service delivery on both of those and to contract out or start our own fire department. We could do that, but we don't, because again, we look at the services being provided and the cost being, levied to the residents. It's a fair and equitable service, and we want to use you. So that's it for myself. I've asked enough, but thank you very much. I appreciate the service of the fire marshal and the plan review. Chief, you mentioned a Dunwoody Village fire where there was no water at the back of the complex. Is that been fixed? Do we force that complex to get water to the back of the complex for the next fire? It's those types of things that make me concerned for the residents that live there.
Yes, sir. And when I said there was no water, there was some water. It wasn't the volume we needed for what we were experiencing at that complex. So that's why we ended up going out to the street. If you may recall, that was an entire building
Right.
that burned. But my understanding, there is low water volume there, but there is water.
And I know
that was reported at the time.
And I know you test the water system and you test the hydrants and all of that aspect. And those reports, I believe, were online, or I've seen them in the past where you've done that. So
Yes, sir.
thank you. But again, if there's some aspect, if you were to test and there was not enough water, I'm hoping that we together could, rectify any situation with a life safety issue when it comes to water pressure.
Yes, sir. And one important point there as well is just in a very general sense, oftentimes where we do see low water pressure is the private hydrants. Those hydrants that are owned, maintained by the owner of the property. So that's an area that we definitely, I know you have your code enforcement, correct?
Right.
That would also get involved in that. And our fire marshal works very well with them to identify those properties.
And again, I appreciate the service.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Chief, I'll keep it